Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to the New Year episode of I Heart Geek. Yay! I feel like a puppet when I do that. Yay! So what we're doing today is we're talking about a little bit of pop culture, what happened in 2022, and we're probably going to make this a 2-episoder, and then we're going to talk about what we're expecting to see for 2023. Yay! Okay, so with me this year, I'm Dub, and next to me is Christina, the Cheeky Chi. Below me is Skeeter, and the guy on the other side is Mr. Kevin. How is everybody doing today?
I am good. I need this. I have missed this so much.
Yes, I fully concur. I missed my geek family, and but the new year is already working very well. So doing awesome.
And Kevin, our world traveler.
Yep, Hurricane has cleanup process is settling down a little bit. Have a lot more time, so this is much needed.
Nice. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be getting into a much more regular schedule. I know I've been promising that. This is the beginning of that. Now, let me tell you.
You better mean it.
I do. Let me tell you about what's going on a little bit with I Heart Geek. We have a huge cast of people, and most of them are still around. There's people that aren't with us anymore, and people that are taking a break, and people that don't have time, and we're always looking for more people. So that's kind of what's been going on. It was a lot of people. With this many people need breaks. So that's a little bit of why we had to have that extended time. I've been trying to throw out shows here and there, but I hate doing that to y'all, and I hate doing it to me because I love doing these shows. Then there's my project I'm working on, which I can't talk about, but I promise you, is the second I can, you're not going to hear me shut up about it. And that's going to be inclusive of all our geek world. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit some of the bigger movies to start with. We're going to hit some of the bigger movies from 2022. We're going to hit some of the TV from 2022. And then if we get to it today, we're going to talk about some of the biggest pop culture items of 22. Yes, as always, we're staying away from political, but there are some of these things that are political. So if you don't like anybody's opinion, shut up. We'll give you time to talk about yours if you would like. This is not a political based show, and yeah, we're as apolitical as possible. Can I say political one more time?
Political.
Just don't be political about it.
Okay, so in general, and I want to get everyone's opinion on this before we start hitting it. What do you think 2022 is going to be remembered for? Let's start with you, Skeeter.
Oh, well, I mean, it seemed that a lot of the memories was we just lost a lot of high level celebrity types. I mean, some gone way too soon, some lived a very full life. And I think that and we're starting to see early 23 that trend is continuing, but I think that hit some of us pretty hard. Some of the announcements that were made late in the year that affect us geeks directly, from some of the major studios that really sent the end of the year kind of into a tailspin. But
a little bit,
that's a big thing.
Okay. Christina, what about you?
Well, 2022 on a personal level was brutal. But that being said, I found a lot of joy in a lot of the movies that came out, a lot of emotional aspects. As Skeeter said, we lost some fantastic people, but I really feel like they left us with such amazing memories and moments that they're not truly gone. So, I mean, I'm an emotional person from 2022.
Kevin?
Well, I'm not going to be emotional whatsoever right now. So,
because you're a
so
robot.
2022 is going to be remembered by the greatest film franchise in history, MCU, having a period. Phase 4 is over. Period. Let's all breathe. Now let's actually get back to Marvel movies that are good again. Dub. See, they're still good, but I'm looking forward. We're gonna make Marvel movies great again. Also, you had Sandman, you had House of Dragon, you had some amazing shows that have come out. But my biggest relief is that Phase 4 is over.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one at all. And we'll get into that as we go. I think we can probably wrap it up. As I'm hoping this is a year that the big companies have made enough doo-doo in their diaper that they're going to change things. Warner Brothers, I'm talking to you. Marvel, I'm talking to you. Stop overexposing. Stop. And I feel like there might be learning, because I'm looking at next year's slate of things, and things are definitely starting to look a little brighter. We're not putting out 7,000 shows they don't need right now. And that's I'm talking the majors. I'm not just talking about MCU, Kevin. Don't get mad. But I feel like the days of overexposure will, especially in the superhero market, is they're starting to pull back. They don't want. I know they don't care. It's money, because for a long time that's printing money. It's not printing money anymore. It's, oh, we've got to do a good job.
Yeah,
Well,
because
people aren't going to blindly say yay anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I'll wait till it comes out on video.
And I've done that on a few movies this year we'll talk about. Big ones.
Content has changed immensely over these last 5 years, and I think 2022 has proven that it needs to be good, or we're just going to stay at home, because like I said, there's so much content that we're given through different streaming services, and they're all good. Like, you have to be good, or we're not going to go out and watch it, in regards to like movies or anything else.
Yeah.
It's like more people are talking about more things and watching more things, so they just need to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you hit that one right on the head. I mean, Griffin and I went to see Black Adam over in where we live during the week, and my goodness, we had a private screening. It was Griff and I in an entire giant theater.
Yeah.
4 days after the movie came out.
Wow.
Wow. We watched Bullet Train, and there was 4 of us in the same theater. People just aren't going, and that's another thing from 2022 that, with streaming
movies, the movie industry as far as theaters, I think, is dead.
Yeah.
Of all the movies that I went and saw, same as Skeeter, there was less than 20 people in there, with the exception of 2 movies that I saw. And those were packed, ironically.
Okay, so let's hit some of the movies that we hit this year. And I'm just going to start naming them, and if we want to talk about it, we're going to talk about them. This first one I definitely want to talk about. We did an episode on this, and that's one of the highest grossing movies ever. It's not the highest, but it's one of, and it was just amazing. And that was Top Gun Maverick. I got to say this, to me, it was a very emotional movie. I was back in the Navy again. It was incredible to me. But I tell you what, the most amazing thing was, I mean, we hear a lot of celebrities, I hate our fan base, it's toxic, blah, blah, blah. Tom Cruise, when you come in, say what you want about Tom Cruise. I don't agree with a lot of him, but he came in, the first thing you see is Tom Cruise saying, thank you for coming to see this movie. We appreciate each and every one of you. We made this for you. No division, no nothing. And it was like, welcome, come on in. And that, to me, was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. Kevin, you didn't like Top Gun?
Okay, no, it's not that I didn't like it. And this is where I'm 37 years old. So I think there is a generation gap there. When Top Gun originally came out, I was probably like 3 or 2. So it doesn't have the same feeling for me. So I haven't even seen Top Gun Maverick, but I do know that every single person that is 10 years older than me and above absolutely loves it. So I'm going to keep my mouth silent on whether it's good, bad, different. I just know that everybody that's a little bit older than me absolutely loves it, and that's a cool thing.
Christina, you did. I know that you love the movie.
So let me just start with this. When the original Top Gun came out, I came home after, we'd seen it and it had now gone to video. And my husband was like, sit down. And I'm like, what? And he makes me sit down and he puts in Top Gun. And I'm like, hey, we've seen it. It's a great movie. He's like, no, you got to sit here. And the moment where the jets fly over you in the movie? Okay, my husband had taken out our sleeper sofa and put subwoofers in the couch.
Nice.
And as much as I love the movie, I need to get a sleeper sofa so I can watch it with subwoofers in the couch, because that was
tooting all the time.
It was it was the most unique experience. Like, the man is crazy, but it brought me back to that feeling of being young, and it was just incredibly enjoyable.
Yeah, and we did a whole show on it. Go back and watch it. We had a bunch of guys that were in the military, and we did that episode. It was fun. Okay, so now let's talk about one of the Disney dropped the ball worse than anything I've ever seen in my life, and that is Strange World. I think the movie was meh, to say the least, but it was not advertised, and then he did a theater release, and that should have been in streaming only, and it put a bad taste in everybody's mouth how bad it did. And then people want to defend it. And I'm like, but it's a streaming okay, but it was just kind of mad. Did you guys watch it at all?
Even streaming, it took me 3 tries to watch it.
Yeah, it's boring. And the animation didn't do anything groundbreaking. I don't understand why Disney decided this is the movie we need to put in theaters only.
Well, I mean, it's a problem with it is that I didn't even know it existed until a week after it was in the theaters. Yeah. You start hearing the news about, this movie is bombing. I'm like, what movie? They're not releasing a movie. And I look at it, and I had never seen anything about it. The flip side is I have a cousin that was all excited, super excited about the movie because of the concept and what it was going to be about. And he started seeing the trailers for it, apparently. I just had this conversation with him at Christmas, and he refused to see it after seeing the trailers and what it was going to be about, because the concept was interesting, and then the application of that concept was completely flustered or boozled, or whatever you want to say, juggled.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything on the political side, anything that's, people are offended on this or that. It just wasn't good.
Well, good.
Yeah. Well, even like Disney's known for pulling on the heartstrings, and even the emotional aspects fell flat.
Yeah. It was unfortunate. Skeeter, are you okay over there, bud? You're muted.
Sorry, I'm experiencing some technical difficulties with the barbecue outside. I'm smoking right now, and the weather is affecting the way the pellets get used, so I'm a little concerned.
Gotcha. Anything on Strange World before we move on?
I honestly had no desire. I mean, from the trailers and all of the things, I was like,
yeah,
what's happening right now? I mean, I don't know. Okay. I'd rather rewatch the Emotion movie. What was that? Inside? No.
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Yeah,
that was a good movie.
Rewatch that one. Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about a movie I haven't personally seen, but a lot of people have, and they loved it. Was Violent Night.
So good.
The concept looks
good.
Amazing, but honestly, and I got to be honest, for a Christmas movie, I'm not going to go to the theaters unless it's Die Hard. I want to see it. Don't get me wrong. I will watch the heck out of it next year. So tell me about this Violent Night. What was everyone's obsession with it?
That was one of the movies that the theater was full. That was one of the ones I was talking about. I was surprised because I thought we'd have it to ourselves, and the whole top part was completely packed out. So it was extra enjoyable because you got all the reactions. I mean, come on, it's David Harbour. It is so good. It is just, and we weren't going to go see it, but our kids surprised us and bought us tickets. So we went to see it, and just enjoyable, hilarious, pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. It was and violent and gory as heck.
Yeah.
So good.
Is this something you could watch for Halloween as well as Christmas?
Oh gosh, yes.
Did anybody else see this? I know Satomi said, I want to do an episode on it, but I just didn't get a chance to get to the theater on it. Nobody else? Okay. So let's move on to another Christmas. We have 2 more Christmas movies to go, and we did episodes on both of these, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. Yes. Anybody that wasn't on that show want to talk about it real quick?
Perfect. James Gunn is an animal. I don't even like DC movies, but that movie right there makes me want to see every single DC movie he is ever going to release. That is one of the best Christmas movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I've watched it 3 times this past the month it came out. My daughter loved it. It's a cool memory of us watching it together at a campsite, huddled on an air mattress. That is an awesome Christmas movie, and it's not an MCU Christmas movie, right?
No.
Like it's a Christmas movie that just happens to be an MCU film.
Exactly.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah. I did say it again. Go back 2 episodes ago. Take a listen to our play-by-play analysis. We went pretty in depth. I think we talked longer than the movie is.
I think we did too.
Okay, next one up is A Christmas Story Christmas. Again, did the episode on it. This is the year, and I'll let you guys talk about it in a sec, but this is the year that there's actually a lot of good Christmas movies that are going to survive the test of time, and it's going to be on repeat. Christmas Story and then Christmas Story Christmas is always going to be on rotation in my house on Christmas.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy always going to be on my rotation at Christmas. And to give us 2 of those movies in the same year is pretty rare because, I mean, Christmas has lost a lot of its commercial edge. Let's be honest. That was, without it being commercialized, it was the spirit of Christmas. Both of those. And yeah, so good job on
incredibly nostalgic. Just beautifully done.
And to follow just a question during that show, so people will want to go back and watch the Christmas Story Christmas episode of I Heart Geek. Yeah, Ralphie was Messy Marvin. So did a little research and I did find him. So yes, for those of us that are of that age group, yeah, that's the guy.
Nice. Okay, now let's move on to non-Christmas. This is more our wheelhouse, what we're talking about. Let's start with Black Adam. I think got a lot worse reviews than it should have gotten. It's a great no. Is it good? Yeah. I would have liked it more if I didn't know all the history of the character and all that, because again, you're messing with the characters. This is not Black Adam. But it was an enjoyable watch, if that makes sense. So I had to separate my geek side from just my viewer side on this one.
Yeah. If you look at it as a standalone movie, it's not a bad movie. But if you look at it knowing the history,
then he's not a good guy.
Yeah, you can get very nitpicky. Yeah.
I was waiting the whole time to see Kevin Hart pop out somewhere. I'm sorry. I like The Rock a lot. He's amazing. He's a really talented actor. Yeah. I mean, from all his years in the WWE, you have to know how to act, and he's killed it in everything that he's done. He tried to bring that Rocky Johnson comedy into the show, and knowing what we know about Black Adam, those funny quirks aren't there.
They don't. But again, I don't think that's on The Rock. I think that is
the way it was written.
It was the wrong character.
It was the way it was written.
Yeah.
It's the DC universe. I haven't seen Black Adam. I have no desire to see Black Adam. I apologize, but I don't want to speak out of hand. But it's quintessentially what's wrong. It has been wrong with the DCEU, right? Is they're trying to make a Marvel movie into a DC film instead of having 2 entirely different properties. and without actually even knowing what the character. It's almost like The Rock, which I love. I love The Rock. I'm a big, huge wrestling fan. I think he's awesome. But it's almost like he's like, I want this character, and we're gonna make him into the guy from Fast and Furious. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I feel like
and they're gonna give it to him.
Yeah. Well, I think he's done. I feel like he wanted to be Shazam, not Black Adam. He would have been better as Shazam.
That would have made a lot more sense.
And I think that
Zachary Levi is Shazam.
He did fantastic.
No, he did.
He did. I loved him. But that's who he should have been playing, not Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock should not play bad guy.
No.
Because he can't. Rock should not play a tortured anti-hero, which they tried to make Black Adam. And Black Adam isn't. Again, they don't make comic movies for comics anymore.
I disagree with you that Rock can't play a bad guy. I don't think he's played a bad guy yet. Unless you look at like 75% of his wrestling career. He is an amazing bad guy. But he just hasn't played it.
People don't want to boo him on the screen.
Yeah, well, because he's the same character in every single movie.
Yeah. Well, because people can't separate The Rock from the character.
Except The Mummy. He played a bad guy there.
Oh, that didn't count. He was in it for 6 minutes.
He was a very good CGI bad guy.
Oh, what a callback.
He was almost as good as Batista.
So I saw The Mummy as an adult, the Mummy with the Scorpion King, and I was completely flabbergasted. I was like, oh my God, look at this graphics.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. Okay, now let's move on to Batman. Batman, on initial release, I was like, okay. The more I've watched it, the less I've liked it. It's too long. I think they're pushing things down your throat too hard. The bad guy is the bad guy. And there's things I liked. I don't like Pattinson as, especially I don't like him as Bruce Wayne. He's okay as Batman, I guess. But honestly, it was the Indiana Jones thing, or the Raiders of the Lost Ark thing. Batman did not have to be there for any of the, for anything to have happened in that movie. He was inconsequential.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was like.
Well, and I think DC needs to learn that darker and grittier doesn't mean hard to see in the theater.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
True.
They have an aesthetic.
Oh my goodness. I think that.
And I don't like emo Bruce Wayne. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't either.
You
enjoyed the movie?
Crushed it. That movie was the bad guy was like SEAL team level. We got to stop this guy, bad guy. This wasn't a Batman's going to stop this guy, bad guy. This was like, oh, guess what? I'm going to blow up your entire city.
That is the level that you need of a Batman character, but there's Batman villains always have a fun underneath.
Yeah,
yes.
This dude wasn't, and I remember during the show that we did, you were like, who is this guy? And when you brought the Zodiac in, I that's where it hit. But he was evil. Yeah. He wasn't, as we've seen other bad guys in Batman, not that level of evil.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to a movie I haven't seen, but I know you all have, so I'm going to let you guys take it away. And that was Wakanda Forever. It's coming out on streaming in a couple of days, and I'll watch it then. It's not that I have an issue with it. It's just I wasn't excited for it, so I didn't go see it.
That's the other movie that was packed.
Yeah, and I know a lot. Everybody loved it.
And so emotional. They did certain parts of it so brilliant. Like the intro, like when Marvel does their intro and you get to see all the characters and everything. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I am going to tell you that moment, people were just bawling. Yeah. It was so much power. Now, that being said, I had a major problem with the Namor. They did him wrong. That's all I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to, because you haven't seen it, but
I've heard all the spoilers.
Yeah, they were trying to be too much like Aquaman, and it was redonkulous.
So I probably will. Okay, and I'm the big Marvel fan here. I think sometimes when it comes MCU,
Almost like
'cause-
you're into something.
oh, I
All right,
hate
go
you
ahead.
so much right now. So no, so the thing with Black Panther, it has its place. Okay, I watched it, I enjoyed it. It was okay. It has its place, but at the end of the day, where Black Panther is going to be one of the, to me, one of the lower tier Marvel movies, which is wild to me because it was so long. It was very emotional. I teared up multiple times, but I cry in every Marvel movie because I'm a big nerd. And it was a period. That's all it was to me. It was a period. Phase 4 is over. Let's get to phase 5. It was every storyline we've had in phase 3 and 4 wrapped up. That's all it is to me. That's where it places for me. It is the end of a book.
Well, let me hit this real quick. And I think this is why part of why I'm not excited and why I'm not excited for a lot of what Marvel's doing now. And it just kind of came to me. Chadwick Boseman was perfection in that role.
Yes.
If you put, I know it's not the same role, but if you put somebody that's supposed to be in that same position, Robert Downey Jr. is an example, Chris Evans, all these other guys, and then you put somebody else in, I'm done. I'm just not excited anymore.
Yeah, it loses something.
You know, and I feel like these execs don't realize that.
Well, I will say that I actually very deeply appreciated that they didn't try to bring in another actor to be him. I do think that was the right choice, not just to honor the character, but to honor Chadwick. Like, and that's why there's parts in the movie that I think are so good, because it's about honoring not just the character, but honoring the portrayal, the person that did that.
And the person who takes over Black Panther, it makes sense. They do a good job with it. It all entirely, like, that's why I think the story's so long, is because they had to show a journey, because we got a little bit of it. We knew a little bit, but you had to show the journey. And I think that's really why they slammed so much. Ironheart was inconsequential in the movie.
Yes.
That's another one of those.
I am interested in seeing the show, because I think she's a cool character, but completely inconsequential. She did nothing. But yeah, it was a period. That's all it is. It's a new chapter now. I'm ready for phase 5. Give me Council of Kangs, multiverse. Give it all to me. Kill Ant-Man.
Yeah. And then they're going to give us the one worst thing that's ever happened in Marvel, period. And we'll get into that when we talk about movies coming out next year, which I'm not happy about. I'm not going to sit quietly on this one. Okay, now let's talk the latest, and I hope last ever, 007, No Time to Die. It was the worst James Bond, period. Everything that's cool about James Bond was neutered. It wasn't good. And as someone who loved James Bond, it was like, this is leaps and bounds below the next worst James Bond movie. It was a like what, Jurassic Park Dominion. We'll get into that one later. I put it at that level. It
one of my friends.
I was upset at that movie.
I didn't finish it.
I wasn't watching James Bond.
But I hate to tell you, they are continuing on the legacy.
I feel like I'm done.
I didn't finish it, and I probably won't watch another one. I just can't. It's that hurt.
I will watch another one because
I'll watch on streaming.
Yeah, I'll watch it on streaming. I will definitely watch another one, just because I wasn't a fan of Roger Moore, and I fell in love with it again. So I do think that if they do it right, if somebody gets it right, James Bond will always be around. Yeah. I mean, it is like.
Yeah, I feel like this was just such a step back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's a thumbs down for everybody on here. I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the other huge stinker of the year, Jurassic World Dominion. Now, let me hit this real quick. If you are watching it and they take out all the people in it, it was a decent Jurassic Park movie. It was a great spectacle. It was what they always are. There's nothing groundbreaking, nothing new. The story was 100%. No, not a character. The story was inconsequential. It didn't matter. Yeah. Go ahead, Kevin. I know you got something to say on this.
So, Ryan, who's
Speak
also
for
part
Ryan.
of the iHeart family, Ryan and I are at lunch before watching this movie, and he's sitting across while we're eating Chinese food, and he's saying, "Kevin, I don't care. I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. I just want a Jurassic Park movie. Show me the dinosaurs. Show me the. That's fine. I'm not looking for the greatest movie of all time. I just want to see my Jurassic Park." He left that movie theater, and I laughed so hard. He was so upset. That entire movie was all. It was they were just trying to do fan service at every single thing and missed the mark.
And
every
service no
single scene.
fans.
Every single scene, fan service was wrong. Every single character was wrong. The dinosaurs sucked. Why aren't you even in the park? You're in what, Egypt or something? That's not Jurassic Park. What are you doing? There you go. You're welcome, Ryan, when you see this.
Okay, Ryan, you are my spirit animal. That was me from start to finish.
Peter, did you see it?
I was done after I stopped watching Jurassic Parks after the second Jurassic Park when we were teenagers.
Wow. Yeah. It's an okay franchise, but you know what you're getting in for, but this was just so bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. Honestly, I mean, if you take down the CGI a little bit, and it'll be like Velocipaster or something like that. It was that bad. It was terrible.
I love that movie. It's so bad, it's good.
Why was there an end of the world event? And how can we fix it so easily? It doesn't make any sense.
You guys could probably make a good Jurassic Park right there in South Florida. Come on. Just go get all your iguanas together and snakes. You're good.
And let them breed with the crocodiles. And yep, we got it.
Done.
Okay, next one up. I don't know if you guys saw this one. The Northman. If there's a Viking movie, I will watch it. It was a great. I mean, after what we just talked about, it's the greatest movie I've ever seen. Honestly, it's about a sea. It's worth seeing if you're into Viking.
The Nordic Viking, yeah.
I mean, it's nothing great. It's kind of forgettable, but it's definitely worth if you're bored watching on TV on streaming because it's free on something or the other. Did you guys see it or no? Nope, I was the only one. Okay, I'm the only Viking freak. Okay.
No, it's on my list.
Yeah. Okay, next one up. We're gonna do our last two movies unless somebody brings one up. Let's talk Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
It was a decent horror film.
It was. There was things I loved on it, and it's okay. Me and Kevin had this discussion before. When you watch it, it's pretty good, and then the farther you get from it, you're gonna realize I can't remember anything from that movie. It's forgettable.
Yeah, there's moments that I definitely.
And that's a sin with the Marvel universe. That is a sin that it is forgettable.
I disagree. I will disagree with you on this one. I enjoyed it immensely.
I enjoyed it at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed it immensely. I've seen it again. I'm very happy I did not bring my daughter to see it.
Good.
Yeah.
Because there was parts where it's very Sam Raimi. Oh, we're getting into some horror now.
I still have nightmares of Wanda coming out of the mirror.
Oh,
like genuine nightmares. I'm not kidding.
You know, it's I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great setup for the next phase. Incursions, we got incursions. As soon as it said incursions, I was like,
yeah,
there it is. There's the word. We said it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I was expecting more though. I will say that. I think my expectations kind of ruined my original watch, but I enjoyed it.
They promised us more.
Yes.
They promise, and when you promise, you better deliver. You underpromise, don't overpromise.
Yeah, underpromise, overproduce. Yeah.
But again, to me, it was forgettable.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it at the moment. I'm not gonna lie.
And like I said, I still talk about certain moments, but then I'm a big Raimi fan anyway. So I think that's where I still connect to it and I still remember it. Much more so than the next one we're going to talk about.
Can we say for a second how much of an idiot the smartest man in the world is, Mr. Fantastic is, for saying, "Hey, Black Adam, if he talks to you, okay, I'll just take away his mouth then." Like,
yeah,
come on, dude.
If
You're supposed to be
that
anyway,
scene was that's some of those upsetting things. Yes, we got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and dead.
Smartest man in the world. Come on.
Him and Professor X in the same room, and they can't stop her. Really?
Snap Professor X's neck.
Fan service.
Yeah, that was just for people that have been fan casting.
100%.
Yep.
And again, I want to say this: when I watched the movie, when I was in the theater, I would have given it a B minus because it's forgettable. I can't give it anything. Again, I want to remember. I mean, we're talking about. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that part now. Was unfortunate.
Yeah.
And Kevin,
yeah, I definitely remember it.
I remember it too. I thought it was great.
But Kevin, I think that's you like it if it's this movie, okay, it's a setup for that movie. I find that to be unexcusable. You can have parts that set up, but it can't be the setup. You're wasting.
When I'm reading a book, one chapter will set up another chapter, and that's the way I look at Marvel movies at this point. When I'm reading a book, if I'm watching a TV show, you're going to have some episodes of a TV show. It's not one movie anymore. It's a continuation of films.
I have your hooded cloak for you. Okay, so let's talk about the ruination of a Marvel character that I don't care about anymore, and that's Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor is not funny. The goats were annoying.
It's a forgettable
Natalie
movie.
Portman, it was exactly what I expected.
Your favorite?
That's the worst thing you could say.
No, I said it's a forgettable.
Yeah. She said forgettable.
I didn't say favorite. I said it's a forgettable movie.
The other one.
It was worse than Dark World. It was worse than Dark World.
It wasn't worse than Dark World, but it wasn't. I laughed, but they took what worked and
forgot it.
And what is it? The other Thor?
Ragnarok.
They took Ragnarok. They took what worked in Ragnarok and tried to implement the same thing, and it just missed. Gore. I was hoping for more with Gore, even though Christian Bale did amazing at Gore.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
best part of the movie, and really again inconsequential.
Yeah, it was.
That was the hard part. He was awesome. Christian Bale did a phenomenal job. I think they underwrote him, but like
they over edited him.
Yeah, way over edited him, and then your favorite actress, Dub, just ran away with it.
Worst thing that I could say is she's exactly what I expected.
But she didn't keep running. That's the problem.
I'm glad we're not going to see her in any more Thor movies. I think they've successfully killed the Thor franchise. I think we're done.
I would say so.
I think they murdered the franchise at this point.
Well, Thor dies in Secret Wars. So, like in the actual comic, Thor dies in Secret Wars. So this is, I mean, you're going to send him. Hopefully, I want the characters to start dying. I know we're not. This isn't a Marvel podcast, but I want some death.
Well, we'll hit on that later. Okay. Okay. So we're running out of time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to skip the TV, and we'll do that next episode. And we're going to hit like 3 items from the pop culture of 2022. So we can discuss this real quick. So, because we're running out of time, I want to give everything a lot of time. So let's hit with something that's actually kind of near and dear to all our hearts, because we're friends with the cast, and that is the longest running Broadway show is going away, and that's Phantom of the Opera. I think that is everybody's way into Broadway without being Broadway, if that makes sense. And they keep getting extended, but I think it's worth saying after 30
they're
years?
They're now extended to April.
Yeah.
Which I am thankful for, because I was supposed to go in January, and because of other things I had to reschedule. So I will be there in April.
So we just wanted to give a kind of a little note to that, because that's a huge loss, I think, to the entertainment world. And not just because we're friends with the cast, it's because it's an important play, and I mean, I was high school. I loved that stuff, you know. So yeah, it's been running for a long time. I don't know the exact number. Okay, and let's hit this. Yeah, we'll hit two things. Let's hit this real quick. G4 returns and dies. Now, this out of all of this is what upset me. I love G4 growing up. Well, not growing up, but in that era, it was fantastic. What upsets me now is Adam Sessler, who was a huge part of G4 and part of the relaunch, as they got canceled, has went on a tirade on how much he hates gamers, how we're all worthless. I'm like, that's why you have any money to this day. That was upsetting to me. But the G4 thing, I hope he lost a bundle on it, because what a dirtbag.
Yep.
I don't have anything nice to say. But G4, the reboot was not sort of like most sequels. It wasn't as good as the original at all. And then finally, let's talk Will Smith and the slap heard around the world. I think that's a bigger moment. Pop culture.
I think that is
Listen.
king of the 2022 memes right there.
Yeah.
Keep his wife's name
out of his
your
mouth.
And I love that part whenever he says that, and everybody's like, "Oh, ha, ha, he's joking," and then he like doubles down on it and says it with like his voice shaking. You're like, "Oh, this is a real moment right here. He's lost his freaking mind."
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm going on record, and we're going to hear about this in like 15 years.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think this
I'm
was
sure.
a work. It wasn't a shoot.
You think so?
I think
so too.
I think this
or you
was.
think it's a wrestling angle?
Yeah,
I think it's a wrestling angle.
Yeah, I think this
Wow.
is. This put Chris Rock back in the spotlight again. This gives an excuse on why Will and Jada are staying together, even though they've been trying to get divorced for years. On a public stage, this gives Will Smith a chance to take a break that he has not had in years. He is burned out. This gets him off social media for a while, because he's wanted to get off social media for a while. I think this was a complete and total real thing or fake thing.
I don't see it.
Okay.
So go back and watch it. There's a moment
That slap
where
did not seem that intense.
Chris slightly takes a step back because, like, he knows it's coming.
Well, yeah, because Will Smith's coming at him. Will
Yeah,
Smith's
but
like
I don't
twice his
think.
size.
I don't think
And if
somebody would expect. Yeah, coming up and doing like a Kanye, like stealing that. But no, I don't know. I think it was planned.
If
Will
you watch
Smith-
I mean, if you've seen, stage fighting, if you watch everything
Or you've
about
been in theater and you
Will,
know
or you've
stage
been
fighting.
in theater and you know
I've been in
stage
theater,
fighting,
been in stage fighting.
Yeah.
the twist of Will Smith's body, the way that he goes with it, I'm sorry, but you get smacked in the face, your head's turning a lot more than because he got him good.
And why wasn't there 20 security jumping on him?
Yeah, that's the other
there wasn't
thing.
20
Is this Will
security. No,
And he
because
slowly walks back down to his seat. Really?
Yeah.
Will Smith had a movie coming out in like a month's time. He
Mhm.
wouldn't jeopardize that. They're not like I just don't.
No,
You're trying to play
because
40
of
chess
his
with
whole
somebody that
speech.
lost his freaking mind.
No,
I just don't see it.
because in his whole speech he references protecting his family like the movie. Like, no, I don't think that was
I
a
love Crystal
sudden
Divide
thing.
after all this time. This is awesome.
I didn't. Yeah. Kevin, back up.
No. So are we putting money on this? What are we doing? 10 years, 15 years? It's definitely not a work. I'm a pro wrestling fan. Listen, I can point out a work all the time.
So am I.
A shoot,
But
it's a shoot
but
slap.
hey, here's the deal. What did he just drop on Apple Plus or whatever? He dropped
movie.
Emancipation.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna work away that whole distance piece away from the award shows and all of that, away from the Oscars. They're gonna find a way in with this
Well,
one.
he came out before that Emancipation movie and apologized and did a whole thing. I'm so sorry.
It was the most
All I'm gonna say is if it wasn't a work, it was the weakest aspiration slap I've ever seen.
Because you're just trying to prove a point.
Like,
it's no doubt in my mind, Will Smith could not literally slap his head right off. He's twice his size.
And here's the other deal with this. They had sat through that rehearsal before. Yep, he had said that in rehearsal before when Will Smith was there. I saw the footage on that. That's why I believe that. Okay, so anyway, let's
pro wrestling mark.
We're cultists. That's what it is. Okay, so check us out next week. We're going to continue this discussion. We're probably going to do it for 3 weeks now instead of 2. So go to our website, www.iheartgeekshow.com. Use the code we paid extra for it. Go to our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, and all that other stuff. Like this, YouTube. Like it, share with your friends. And until next time, I'm Dub. I'm here with Christina. We're here with Skeeter. We're here with Kevin. Keep on geeking on, guys. We'll see you next week.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.